Today, we're going to make the best baked tofu. This is a great source of vegetarian protein that you can add to your meals, or you can serve it on its own as an appetizer with your favorite dip. I recommend using organic, extra firm tofu if you can find it, but firm tofu will also work for this recipe. Just make sure that you're not using a silken variety because it will be too soft and crumbly to work with. I like to use the kind of tofu that you find in the refrigerated section of your grocery store, and that kind is typically packed in water, so you'll need to drain it before you get started. Now we're going to slice the block of tofu in half lengthwise. Lay those two pieces down on a clean towel, then fold that over so the tofu is covered. Place something heavy on top of the towel, like a cast iron skillet or a cutting board topped with a few heavy books. This is going to help press out some of the moisture in the tofu so it will bake up crispier. Pressing the tofu for 10 to 15 minutes is sufficient for this recipe, but you can leave it there for up to an hour if you tend to get distracted like I do. Now that the tofu has been pressed, cut it into cubes and preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Transfer those cubes to a bowl, then drizzle them with 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. This is going to help the seasoning stick to the tofu. To make the seasoning blend, stir together 1 teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of garlic powder, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. I use about a 1/16 of a teaspoon of cayenne if you like to measure things out like I do. If you add any more than that, your tofu will be pretty spicy, so just keep that in mind. Stir the seasoning together, then sprinkle it over the tofu. Toss gently to coat the pieces evenly. Then you're going to sprinkle 1 tablespoon of arrowroot powder over that. The arrowroot is key here for getting a crispy outer coating on the tofu, but you can use tapioca starch or cornstarch with similar results. Stir until you don't see any more of that white arrowroot powder. Then grab your baking sheet and line it with parchment paper so the tofu won't stick to your pan. Arrange the tofu in a single layer so that the pieces aren't touching each other. Then put them in the oven to bake at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. When your timer goes off, remove the baking sheet from the oven and flip the tofu pieces over so that all sides will crisp evenly. Then return the pan to the oven and bake for another 15 minutes. The tofu should look nice and crispy on the outside, and it will be perfectly tender on the inside. It's delicious over salads, noodles, or you can serve it on its own as an appetizer with your favorite dip. I hope you'll enjoy this crispy baked tofu soon, and if you need the printable recipe, you can always grab it over on my website, detoxinista.com. If you like quick and easy cooking videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my other videos for more delicious real food recipes.